Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Boucle from, changing my light here, from CZT Cheryl Moote. Now, this is a neat tangle in that there's so much you can do with it. All right, so we're going to start off with just an orb. And then kind of a spiral, but not really. So starting off right on the edge with the takeoff, and then we're going to land kind of in the middle like so. If we need to do that again, we'll do that again right here. And you could go the other direction if you want. I'm going to go the same direction here because I have this little... Sometimes my orbs, I don't know if you can see that or not. Well, I have a little... Sometimes I don't finish right away. Pick up my pen when I should. And so I end up with what I call a little tag. So if that happens to you, oh, then that just decides where you start your, your little... What do I call it? An open spiral on the inside. Like so. Now, then... After this, I'll go back to the first one. After this, we're going to come from right where you ended on that sort of spiral and come back out this way. So kind of tracing over, that's that takeoff and land concept. And then just bring it back. Actually, so it's interesting because it kind of looks like a comma, or if you flip it this side, this kind of looks like a wave. It's really fun. Let me do that to this one here too. Yeah. And so there are, of course, ways to let me try to do one backwards. I always have to think for a minute. Yeah, like so. Lots of ways that you can then finish this off. And actually, if you're turning your tile while you're doing this, you can almost do that in one felled swoop there. Let me draw a big one here. Hope I have a piece of... There we go. And that one I have a little bit more of a gap, but that's okay. Okay, we'll finish it off right here with one right here. So this you could utilize, I'm going to try another backwards one, kind of like you would print toms. Like how far am I going backwards? And that's something that you could decide. It's like, it's not like we get to here and then, we just finish it off here. I would recommend taking a minute. I was kind of, going a little fast. But it still turns out really nice. You decide how far, where do you want to have that line from here come out. And again, using the takeoff and land concept, which is, just to repeat, let's see, where do I need another one? And so you could have fun, I could draw some behind. Well, let's just see. We'll just draw another one right here. We'll butt these up against each other here. Oh, and this means that we're going to draw a backwards one because I'm going to start it right here. But the takeoff and land concept is kind of tracing over, then going like, into where you're going and landing here. That made no sense. And then if you still have like this, then, we'll just put some weight here. Oh, look at how neat that looks. So again, we'll do the takeoff and land here. So taking off, meaning I'm tracing over what I have here. It's kind of like getting like a warm up in the pitch if you like baseball. So tracing over, then releasing at some point, and then landing somewhere else. Now, even the landing, you could follow through with a little bit of tracing. It just has a different look when we do that than just kind of going, a curved line from here to here. There's just something about having it come from one line and going into the next. And that's why we do that. All right, now, for the finishing off, there are a ton of ways. One way, and actually, let's see which which one do I need to mess with the most? But not really, because this one, say, looks a little bit different. But I'm going to do this one here. So, yeah. So one way to finish these off, because really, Cheryl kind of stops here. There's a couple of variations. I think one is just doing it backwards. Another one is maybe adding some extra lines, some aura-ing on the inside. And let me take a peek. That would be, let me find one that it would kind of work on. Let's see, she had it going, is that right? Yeah. I have to look 3 times. So, it was on the outside. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that one's neat. I had to have to look at it a couple times because she really almost has it going. Gosh, it looks like, that's just crazy. And because I've done this one backwards to where she did it. Oh, I see. It would have to be bigger. All right, let's see. Anyway, so you could do some aura-ing. And that could be, I don't know. Like, so if you want to maybe, do something like that, because that's kind of how she had it a little bit like that, and then had something else coming out of here. And I'm not quite grasping where she had it. Well, let's just do like that. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you know what, though? And forgive my playing with while I'm doing this, because all of a sudden then I just had this great idea. So there's a way you could finish off. Now I'm thinking of Nautilus, right? And that's what it kind of looks like. And then, and this could be, if you wanted to do this, or if you ended up with something that you didn't really care for, like in your orb or in this, you could do an aura like this, fill it in. This is kind of like course correction tips, because there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. And then into adding that, that thickness or the weight in some areas, like even here. And this is, again, so I'm just starting on the main line, coming out and going back in, like merging. And this, we could maybe have it go a little bit further down. Yeah. So there is one thought. Another thought, which is what I was going to do here, because I didn't really care for how I went a little too far out too soon. But let's just see what happens with that if we just fill it in. Let me switch quickly to my graphics one to make it a little quicker. Being careful on this outside as to not go out. But so this is fun because you could make a pile of them, or, fill in, do a whole section like we would, as I mentioned, as we would the Tangle print-tomps. And if you aren't familiar with that one, I know I have a video. So this one I did kind of spiraled lines coming out of that one side. You could see, and this is another one that would be a great candidate for filling in, because I really would like to have had this be a little thicker right there. And this is the beauty of the fill-in, is that you can just shave off some space. And now, I mean, you can't add, like for this one, it's like I can make this thinner and a little nicer curved. You just have to be careful as you're assessing, well, let's see, I don't like this, and here's why, and how can I fix it? So like here, it's like, okay, I kind of jumped out a little bit here. I can't make this thinner, well, unless I use a white jelly roll, that is, but we're not going to do that. And that doesn't even really, cover it. But I can make that a little bit rounder, so that way it doesn't look like a bump. It looks like it's smooth. So just some thoughts. You could also, well, let's see, we didn't fill in the other. Although filling in this section, you also have to be careful, because if you fill in this section with your ink color of choice, then you end up, covering up you know, this black. So then you just end up with this, which that could look fine too. But let me do this. I'm just going to add some graphite here, because you can also use the graphite as a fill-in. And then use the tortillon afterwards. And that way you just have gray instead of the harsh black if you wanted to do that. Now that would work over the top of this. Let's do this one. So if I want to add, I just want to make this just a solid, nice gray. See, and then you can still see, obviously, that part. And it's kind of neat. Now, I'm going to think for shading, if you wanted to do something where you had shading, now these are so small, I don't know. But let's just play for a minute. This one would have been a good candidate for filling in, because I'm looking going, wow. So you could go on the outside, and I'm going to spread the graphite on the outside. So then you can make the whole thing glow. And then if you decided to do something on the inside, let's see. I kind of like, oops, wrong one. I kind of like auraing this line. This one I'm going to just be a little more careful, maybe a little thinner. This one started off by mistake, right? It was just like, it was an afterthought, but it still turned out neat. But that looks neat as well. Okay, got a last one here. Let's do this. If we were to do this on the inside, that way you can see the difference. I'm also thinking, you know what? We're just going to do it. I'm going to go on the kind of the inside of this, inside / on top of that spiral. We're just playing, right? All right. And very carefully, because like I said, because it's small, and in order for the graphite to kind of have an effect, you have to be able to see some of the original tile color. Otherwise, it's just gray. Oh, so even with that, and I'm just going I'm just drawing, I'm going over it. I'm not trying to spread it out at all because, like I said, there's not a lot of room. But look at how neat that is. And even if you just go over the graphite with your tortillon, it still spreads it and smooths it out, so it looks nicer than just a pencil line. So there's a bunch of... So it's kind of interesting. I think before I take a picture for the cover, I'm gonna fill in with some other things, maybe some print tops. I don't know. But anyway, so there are some really, really neat ideas for you for this fun tangle boucle. And if you want to get the story behind the name, take a look at the For More Inspiration. I'll probably put both links, one for Tangle Patterns and then one for Cheryl's blog. Sometimes they're hard to find, the little click here, and I'll just make it that way, make it easy for you if I put that link separately in the For More Inspiration part of the description section. Also, I will have my step outs, and if you really enjoyed this and would like to maybe take some live classes, I do offer, I have some free classes, I have some paid classes. You can check out my website for that listing and ways to connect with me so you can see when I post new things. And let's see, also we have a Facebook group, the Tangle Addicts community, and would love to have you join that if you're enjoying tangling and want to have a community to share your work and just have fun. If you enjoyed the video, also would love to have a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, would be honored if you would be a subscriber. But make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you can determine how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And with that, I thank you so much for watching and having fun with me with this one. And I wish you happy tangling.